Beats by Dre, or I guess now you could simply say Beats since Apple took over and bought them back in 2014 and started to make their own adjustments. Now, Beats has always been an amazing luxury pair of headphones, not only for their style, but also the design and setup of the packaging as well, because every time we opened up that box, it felt like Christmas. And I think we can all remember our first pair. I had the Beats Solo headphones, which weren't even wireless yet, but they were the greatest thing in the world. And throughout the years, they went with wire to wireless and Bluetooth, over to the studios, and of course a bunch of things in between. And in those in-betweens, they made earbuds. So today we have their newest pair that was just released this past week called the Beats Studio Buds. What's up everybody? It is me, Nick Desjarlais, and welcome back to the channel Vibe Nick, where we're doing tech and gadget reviews. If you're in the market for a new pair of earbuds, then listen up, because right here we got the Beats Studio Buds. And let's start off with the case. It has a nice oval shape, small enough for pockets, which is honestly a crucial necessity in my opinion. They don't beat the AirPod Pros in size, they are slightly bigger, but I am completely okay with this. I guess it makes it a little bit harder to lose. And now that Apple is the owner of these two, it makes complete sense on why they have a lot of similarities. It has a nice Beats logo on the front, a small LED light underneath to show where the battery is at, and then you have your magnetic latch to open and close, which is always great. I'm not really fond of the buttons like the Bose QC earbuds has. When you open it up though, you have an amazing layout of the earbuds in their charging case with the logo facing up, which is very simple yet so pleasing. In the middle is the pairing button to switch and connect to another device. It only allows one connection at a time, but to make it really easy and super fast, if you have your Bluetooth on and simply pop open your Buds case, a pairing option will almost immediately show up on the screen. After this, every time you open up the case, it will connect automatically without you having to do anything. This is true for iPhones and Androids, but Apple decided to give Android a little bit of love this time around to make things more equal, but there's definitely some downsides, so we'll get to that in just a second. To customize some settings, iPhones can go right in the Bluetooth tab and work from there, whereas Androids need to get the Beats app to adjust settings and get some, firmware updates, but that's the only difference there. In the app, you have noise control, transparency mode, and off. Off just means off. You're not getting the transparency, you're not getting the noise control, they're just sitting in your ears, you're playing music, and that's it. Underneath, you have your USB-C port, and you do need an adapter that's compatible with this. Being an iPhone user, I was definitely a little disappointed since I'm so used to the Lightning connector, but for all you Android users, I am sure you are thrilled. And colors. You got red, you got white, and then you got black. And today I have the white ones. I told myself I wasn't going to buy them only because I've owned the AirPod Pros, and over time, they can get a little bit dirtier, and it's noticeable, whereas the reds and blacks can kind of hide that. But I went into the store, these were the last ones on the shelf, and it goes to show how popular they are because it just came out a few days ago. So I got it just for you guys. Also, I'm already seeing reviews saying that this is very slippery and it's been falling out of their hands left and right. No, it's really not that bad. Just don't juggle it around and don't be an idiot and you should be fine. All right, let's dive into the earbuds themselves because there's a lot of info here, some good and some a little disappointing. When we take these out of the case, they're pretty small but have a really cool design, and you'd think they'd be white since the case is, but they're actually a light gray with only the white at the top. I'm very happy with that. And it almost fits flush to your ear. It slightly sticks out, but I'm glad there's no stem or extra things wrapping around my ear. They do weigh about 5 grams and are IPX4 sweat and water resistant, which means it's great for working out because of the sweat resistance, and has an amazing tight seal allowing to stay in your ear even if you're going for a run. They got you covered, offering 3 ear tip sizes, small, medium, and large, and medium does come pre-attached. Those have worked for me amazing so far, so now that they're fit snugged and ready to go, we gotta dive into some of our downfalls. So it does not have the H1 chip, meaning it misses out on things like multi-point connection where you can instantly switch between 2 devices back and forth. It does not have wireless charging case, and there's no in-ear detection, where when you take one earbud out, it pauses, and as soon as you put it back in, it plays. I was a little upset with this because I have the AirPod Pros, and when I would go to the gym, somebody would come up to me, have a conversation, I'd take the earbud out, and as soon as I was done with the conversation, I'd put it back in, and the music would play right where it was. This I'll take it out, music will still be playing in the other ear, I'll have a conversation this way, it'll be all jumbled, so I'd have to take both out. And now 5 minutes later, a bunch of songs have already passed. With these missing features, it makes sense that this is going for $149, which is $100 cheaper than the AirPods Pros. It's still expensive, but makes complete sense on why they're cheaper. On the bright side, there is Class 1 Bluetooth for longer range connection, so there's no unwanted and sudden dropouts. It also has spatial audio for the surround sound video that supports it, and if you have Apple Music, certain songs will work with this too if they are supported by Dolby Atmos, which kind of allows for instruments to be put in their own place around you, putting you in the moment. And when listening to your music, maybe with spatial audio activated, you have your noise options. Noise cancellation is decent, but nowhere near as good as the AirPod Pros. It does the job and will cut out a good portion of that outside sound, but could definitely be tweaked in the near future. Same with transparency. It definitely opens up, allowing the outside noise to come in, but could be improved. I hear a slight static sound, which is annoying, but only notice it when you're paying attention. But again, it does the job, and I think it's still worthy. Like I said before, you can customize your buttons. So on one side, you can have ANC transparency mode, and the other, you can have Siri. And to activate them, all you have to do is long press. If you have your hands-free activated on your device, all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri," and ask away. Now, just like all these other products, tap once to pause and play, double tap for next track, and triple tap for backtrack. Every time these buttons are pressed, it's almost like a hidden bonus because it pushes the buds into the ear, making sure they're secured. Not sure if this was on purpose, but still pretty cool. For phone calls, it's the same buttons. Press once to answer or end a call, press once to answer a second incoming call, or press and hold to reject that incoming call. If you don't want to listen through the earbuds, you can press twice to switch over to your phone. Now let's throw in the earbuds, okay? Let's toss them in our ear, and let's switch over to the mic to see how it sounds. You ready? All right, so this is it right now. This is the mic. It's definitely subpar. It can be much, much better. But if you're on a phone call indoors, the person on the other end should be able to hear you perfectly. Now, if you're in a loud environment, let's say you're at a party and there's a bunch of stuff going on, that noise and your noise talking can be jumbled and get really annoying. But for the most part, it's not terrible. It definitely still gets the job done. But coming over to something very important is the sound quality. How good is it? Well, it has a custom acoustic platform allowing for nicely balanced sounds, elevating the highs and lows of the music, and the most noticeable part is the bass. It's very strong, and I expected nothing less knowing that it comes from the Beats family. And this is very, very loud. It definitely beats the AirPods Pros and most other earbuds, but it's so loud that I'll never go up to 100%. I'll probably stay from 50 to 75. And if you do go from 90 to 100, it can be really irritating sometimes. So if you wanted me to rate this from 1 to 10, I'll probably give it a solid probably an 8. And lastly, battery. Now, it all depends on how you use it. If you always have noise cancellation and transparency mode on, it's going to be less than if you always have it off. But let's start with it on. So with it on, one charge will get you about 5 hours, and the case does give you 2 extra charges. So altogether, they say you'll roughly get 15. But if you always have it off, one charge will get you about 8 hours. And, altogether, they say you can get 24 hours out of this. It's not entirely true, but they're just saying that the maximum amount of battery life that you can get is 24 hours. And yeah, if you need a little bit of an extra charge, you can put this on for 5 minutes and it will give you about an hour of extra playtime. With all that being said, the battery life on this does very well and keeps up with other high quality brands, so there is nothing to worry about here. But that is all. I hope you enjoyed. Link is below if you want to make a purchase on these Studio Buds. Smash that subscribe and like button to help with the algorithm so I can continue to grow. I appreciate you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.